Did you know that Melee was given a balance patch all the way back in 2002, a year after its release? This update was never given in the Japanese or NTSC versions of the game. What would have been most likely a modern day balance patch today was simply just the EU version of Melee. The European version of Melee was months after its initial release from Japan and America, and those extra months allowed for time for the team to balance the game. Some bugs that were deep within the NTSC version were actually patched. Even small exploits with items were patched, like for example, Ganondorf being able to double jab with his bunny hood on. Lag and loading times were actually reduced as well, along with home run contest fixes, the player markers now following characters' positions perfectly instead of lagging by 1 frame. You can see this with Mewtwo or Sheik's up specials. They made the HUD a bit smaller for some reason, but the most interesting stuff and the reason why you're here is the character buffs and nerfs. While some of these changes are really small and don't affect the character's viability at all, some actually are nerfs to the character. And we're going to go over every single character change, so be sure to stay through the end and make sure to like and subscribe. And if you like my voice or something, check out the Patreon down below or Metafy as well. Bowser's weight was increased very slightly, going from 117 to 118. They also fixed a bug where down throw would not do damage against Jigglypuff and Mr.Gameandwatch. However, they gave him a significant nerf to him and Giga Bowser. They removed their iconic flame cancel. These changes aren't going to change their viability that much, as Bowser has a laundry list of flaws like his slow and awful moves. They still are mostly going to be the same. So the worst character in Melee didn't really get that many changes. Sad. Captain Falcon's Gentleman was made easier to input. However, late hit of knee was given 3% less damage and now has a 30 base knockback instead of 35. They also made it so side B can no longer pass through projectiles, which makes this already not safe move even less safe. Donkey Kong's Giant Punch no longer loses charge if it's hit out of Spinning Kong. This is a very small change. It would have been nice if they removed the tie hurt box or something, but you can't win them all. Falco received some of the hardest changes, like completely destroying his down air. The late hit of down air now hits opponents at an away angle. Some people call this the Sakurai angle. This basically means you can't do pillar combos as easily, and spiking off stage with the late hit is no longer possible. So you're either going to have to use the earlier hit of down air and get that glorious spike hitbox, which is a huge change for Falco because it was always active before. The other change is Fox can now tech out of down throw, which was again a pretty small change, as down throw is already Falco's lesser used throw. For Fox, he was also given the Nerf hammer. His weight dropped from 75 to 73, which means he can be KO'd slightly earlier. His up smash deals 1% less damage with a 26 base knockback and 108 knockback growth. So this means up smash is going to KO later. Down smash deals 2% less damage, and the angle change was changed from 30 to now 25. Firefox deals 2% less damage and covers less distance than the NTSC version. Fox and Falco were given the most amount of nerfs so far, and it affects Fox a lot because his KO power is weaker and recovering is actually harder because his up B was nerfed. Ganondorf was actually given mostly nerfs for some reason. Ganondorf can't catch a break or something. For some reason, they nerfed his forward air's knockback. It was dropped to 60 to 40. That is a huge change. Down air deals 1% less damage and now has also a 40 base knockback growth. Similar to Falcon's side B and Ganon's side B, it no longer passes through projectiles. And also he was given bug fixes like making Nair actually works correctly, as the second hit of the move actually comes out 4 frames later, making it so both kicks link together consistently. Dark Dive no longer considers Ganondorf airborne. This is also a huge bug that was fixed. Ice Climbers, they completely removed the freeze glitch and the Ice Climbers on fire glitch. Rest in peace. Yeah, they didn't take out wobbling, but they fixed a couple other glitches the Ice Climbers had. Kirby was given plenty of buffs. His weight was increased from 70 to 74. His run speed was increased from 1.04 to 1.5. His forward tilt has 10 base knockback and its hitbox sizes were increased. Up tilt has more disjoint, along with dash attack dealing more damage and also having a 50 knockback growth. Both forward smash and down smash deal higher amounts of knockback and also have more disjoint. Forward air has 2 frames of less lag and also got a disjoint buff, along with back air getting more disjoint and down air having less ending lag. And you must be saying, wow, that's a lot of changes. Kirby's got to be at least a mid tier now. Well, actually that's not the case. These changes might look like a lot on paper, but Kirby is one of the worst characters in the game still. This is like giving a broken down Chevy a paint job and calling it a day. Kirby has so many negative flaws, and these are still relatively minor changes to a character that just has a laundry list of negatives. So sorry, Kirby. Link's chain dance was removed. Spin attacks lingering hitboxes now send at a Sakurai angle. This is actually a huge nerf to this move's KO ability because this used to send opponents directly downward. You would see this all the time as an edgeguarding tool, now not so much. Boomerang's grapple animation can no longer be cancelled while airborne, which is also a nerf. The chain dance and boomerang changes were also applied to Young Link as well. Mario's weight was dropped from 100 to 98. Yes, this was back in the day when people thought Mario was busted. That's why he probably got nerfed. Fireball no longer increases in speed when hitting angles on stage. The maximum airspeed was actually dropped from 0.86 to 0.83. This is going to nerf his recovery and aerial capabilities slightly. Marth was also given the nerf hammer. His weight dropped from 87 to 85. His maximum aerial velocity was also dropped, going from 0.90 to 0.85. Down air was changed from a spike to a meteor smash, and its angle was changed to 270. This means the move is way less rewarding and not nearly as deadly off stage. This basically means Marth can't Ken combo in the traditional way. This is a huge change to Marth, as instead of down airing off stage, you'll be seeing Pal Marth do reverse up special to Ken combo. Also, the change to his weight inversely made him able to escape out of Fox's wave shine follow-ups, meaning Fox cannot wave shine to grab Marth anymore. Marth might look pretty bad on paper, but these nerfs didn't change him that much. Also, they fixed the Wispy glitch, so that godforsaken glitch is gone. They fixed it for Roy too, so thumbs up for that. Mewtwo's Shadow glitch was patched out. For those who don't know the extent of this glitch, you can actually grab Mewtwo's forward throw Shadow Balls, and if a third character is able to catch them, you can use them as an item. And then you might be thinking, wow, a new hidden item, this is really cool. Well, once you throw it, it actually crashes the game. Kinda epic. Mr.Gameandwatch's item pickup glitch was removed. This was an item-only glitch, so most competitive players have probably never even heard of this glitch. They removed Oil Panic's ability to turn invisible, which was also another bug fix. They fixed Ness's PK Flash, where if multiple characters were hit by PK Flash, that some of the characters would experience a scaled version of the move. PK Thunder was actually able to despawn now if Ness is hit. This is kind of a nerf. Samus's extender was completely removed, and you can no longer bomb jump out of Grapple Beam. And I saved some of the more interesting bits for last. Yoshi was actually given the most amount of buffs and one nerf. Down air deals 38 total percent this time with all the hits. It previously did 51% with all the hits. This is actually a slight nerf. However, his weight did increase from 108 to 111, making him actually live longer. Forward smash deals 1% more and deals 98 knockback growth instead of 94. Up smash kills slightly earlier now, as it deals 1% more damage and having a 30 base knockback growth. So Yoshi is one of the few examples of characters actually getting buffed. Sheik is the exact opposite. She was given nothing but nerfs, and this makes sense as plenty of the early Melee tier lists put her as the #1 character in the game. Sheik was given 3 nerfs. Up smash deals 1% less damage and has a knockback growth of 102 instead of 105. Up air deals 10% instead of 12, and the late hit even got a slight damage decrease, now with 110 knockback growth instead of previously being 120. Down throw was gutted pretty hard. Its trajectory was changed from 80 degrees to 60. This basically means you really can only tech chase now with down throw or use dash attack. With all these changes combined, up smash and up air are not going to be KO moves as early as they used to be, and you'll now see them as combo tools. And down throw is less rewarding of a tool for Sheik now. Yeah, to put in perspective how big of a change that is, no more glorious down throw to forward air, unfortunately. Now, why don't most players just use the PAL version if it's hypothetically the final balance patch for Melee? Well, there's definitely a debate warranted for this, as some people might like the fact that top tiers mostly were given nerfs. It, however, doesn't change the game that much on a significant level. The tier list is relatively the same despite these changes. If anything though, the top tiers were probably changed the most, but it's important to note that this balance patch also nerfed characters like Ganon, Mario, and even Samus, so that's why no one is really making a big argument to say let's have everyone switch to the PAL version, because plenty of players like Falco's late hit on his down air being a spike, and the fact Fox is actually stronger. It's interesting to note that characters weren't even changed still get affected by the nerfs, like Peach, who didn't get any changes, but now her worst matchups previously, like Fox and Sheik, don't have guaranteed follow-ups on her anymore, or like Fox, they have less KO power. Many European players acknowledge that top tiers getting nerfed can indirectly buff characters who were previously struggled against these characters. But in general, most people just play the NTSC version because that's what most people are going to play anyways, and I don't blame them, to be honest.